got peace, y'all. And it's shouting down from above. We got joy, we got faith, we got freedom, yes we do. And I'm gonna use it, how about you? We got hope, oh, we got hope. We got love, yes we got love. We got peace, y'all, oh, peace. And it's shouting down from above. We got joy, oh, we got joy. We got faith, and we got the faith. We got freedom, yes we do. And I'm gonna use it, how about you?
Hey, how's everyone doing?
Hello.
We are here for the first time in forever. There we go.
Hey, Elsa.
That's the whole reason we did this. We waited this
Exactly.
long so I could use a bad pun of for the first time in forever.
Super good punchline. I love that.
And I doubt anyone really doesn't think that that's true. Probably everybody in the world thinks, yeah, I could see him doing that.
Yeah.
So,
Believe it.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, it is good to see you.
Yes, you too. You too.
We have been up at the school a lot with some of y'all's kids, and they're all good except for the ones who aren't. But you just
We'll
if
let
you don't know who it
figure
is, then just assume it's the good ones. They're all good.
There
No,
you go.
we do enjoy getting to be up at the school and sub and everything like that, and so just really fun stuff. But it does make you busy sometimes.
Yeah. In sports.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
yes.
So y'all just got done with basketball. Are you doing softball this year?
Neither of my kids care for softball, and I'm okay with that. We're still playing basketball though. In fact, we have a game coming up this weekend.
No, still doing basketball?
Yeah, we're on a little travel league with
Man.
Paisley. Yep.
Well, there you go. Well, we are here. This is the first time this year we've talked. It has been extremely busy, and honestly, the Disney news has been kind of lacking.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
There's not been a whole lot to talk about, and so we just kind of took a little break, let the news pile up. So we're going to get into that today. So a lot of places have reported on this news already. But I guess if you want to take it away, whichever one you want to start with.
We can cover a little bit of the D23 Expo and what is kind of to be expected of the parks in the upcoming future. We'll start with maybe some ride closures and ride openings. So far, we have Epcot's test track going down for refurb coming in June. And hopefully they're just kind of sprucing it up and making it a little funner. Currently, it's where you build a vehicle through Chevrolet and you completely design it and modify it how you want. And you take it through a test track and you're kind of the crash dummy for that, if you will. And you see where it can kind of top out at your speed and how it does on different
Maneuvers.
courses. Yes. And then ride openings, we have what
Well,
was
hang on.
once. Oh, sorry, go
So with Test Track,
ahead.
talk about you design everything, but then you get to, and I don't know, I've been there so many times. When do you scan your Magic Band when you get to the ride? Because do you scan it right when you get there before your
Yes.
car pulls up, or do you wait till your car pulls up and then scan it? Because I've done it both ways, and both times my car never seems to show up on the scoreboard they have throughout it, which maybe that's one of the reasons that stuff needs to change, is just it's not reliable.
Right. Well, when they call your boarding party to get in the little line there that puts you in the vehicle, they have a scanner right there, and we scan as we're loading.
I've never had very much luck with it.
I think I'm going to have to pay attention to that next time, now that you think of it.
Well, I do know there's a lot of rides that need work.
Uh-huh.
Everest, You remember when Joe Rody said he was going to finish and fix the Yeti, and then he retired
Yes.
without ever fixing the Yeti? I mean,
Yes.
I'm not one to normally call people out by name, but tisk tisk.
Although the Yeti is super cool unfixed. So I can just imagine how cool he will be fixed.
He's never going to be fixed.
He's never going to be fixed. But you're not going to miss out, even if he isn't.
Just look up Disco Yeti. It's the animatronic was too big. They built it right into the foundation, and as soon as he started moving, the foundation cracked. So it was operational for like what, 2 months? It was ridiculous. Anyways, but you know, some rides need to be fixed, and Test Track doesn't necessarily seem like one of those. Like Figment could use a lot more imagination, if you will. But what I've heard on this one is basically GM is back. GM is the sponsor. And so what that means is GM paid Disney a whole lot of money and said, fix it.
Yes.
So that's why that ride is getting fixed and nothing else. And so if you really, really like Test Track, go Memorial Day, I guess, if you're going this summer.
Reopening time set for it just
They
yet.
said a year.
Yeah.
A full, solid year. So if you go anytime after June, I want to say right around Father's Day, you're not going to have Test Track anytime after that for the rest of this year and a good chunk of next year. And because that's what Epcot needs is more construction.
Right.
And,
yes.
Yeah. So, we got sirens going on.
Speaking of Epcot, the new Moana Way of Water attraction just opened. It's not a ride, but it is just a little, it's kind of like a botanical garden with magic water features that you can interact with your hands and things like that. So that's pretty neat
And
to
you just
check
like,
out.
and it's got a like 15-foot something tall Tafiti at the very
Yes.
end, the big like really green lady from the movie. So that part looks neat to me. The water
Yes.
features, I'm like, okay, I just want to like run through it real quick, get a picture, and then bail to ride Guardians again. So Epcot's nearing completion, other than Test Track, of all of its work that has turned it into a construction jungle.
Yes.
But one of your favorite parks, Animal Kingdom, is about to be gutted.
Yeah. But it needs to be. What we're talking about is the removal of Dino Land USA. And if you've ever been in Dino Land USA, I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. It's kind of equivalent to one of those county fairs that come set up out of a suitcase in your hometown. It's not, I don't know. It's just not great. And it needs to be removed. It
was designed that way too. Like, I mean, she's not kidding when she says it's designed like a county fair. They took extra efforts in Imagineering to make concrete look like cracked asphalt.
Yes,
without having the heat of the asphalt that you would normally get.
Yes.
And so Dinosaur is apparently by some people like their favorite ride.
Yeah.
Like I know
it's a fun ride.
Whenever, Sierra and Reagan Moose had went last year, they were like, we've got to go to this one because I hear it's the best ride in the parks. And I'm like, who said that?
Yeah.
But apparently they really liked it.
Okay.
And so that ride is going to be changed because the whole area is getting like a Tropical Americas vibe, which, what does that have to do with animals? Animals live there? I guess that's it.
Yeah.
And so with that, there is an Encanto attraction that they have no information on. Probably a Coco attraction, which if I'm guessing from what Disney normally puts forth whenever they don't want to do very effort, is going to either be a carousel or another Dumbo clone. And then an Indiana Jones ride. And that's what will replace Dinosaur because it uses the same kind of vehicle with all the different motion. But they said it's not going to be a clone of Disneyland. Like it'll have its own kind of story because I think the ride building for Dinosaur is smaller than what they have at Indiana Jones for Disneyland.
Interesting.
So that's going on in Animal Kingdom. Now, don't really care about that. I spend as little time in Dino Land as possible.
Same.
Gunner hated whenever they shut down Primeval World, which was like the spinning
Yes. The little
Wild
roller
Mouse
coaster.
roller coaster.
Yep.
Brooklyn was mad that she was never tall enough to ride it.
Yeah, neither were my kids.
But the one we really care about is Magic Kingdom, because can you believe that it's been like 10 years since Seven Dwarfs went in at Magic Kingdom.
I did not.
And in that 10 years, there has been one new ride since then.
Oh, wow.
That's because they took half that 10 years to build it.
Yes,
And that was
they did.
that was Tron. And you guys went last year
Yep.
and were able to ride Tron.
Yep.
What was your reaction?
I think it was the same as yours. The idea is really nice. It's a super fun coaster. It's just not long enough. I would just like a little bit more. It gives you enough to where you're like, oh man, that was fun, but it's
Yeah.
over.
We were losing our green screen over here, just
Oh.
looking in the just ignore that sliver of space. You know what? I'm OCD enough
Can't
to
handle
stop a
it.
show. When you're your own cameraman, this is what happens. There we go. All right. So, yeah, it is. It's nice. It's got a cool launch, but the 5-year delay kind of just too much hype.
We were expecting just a little more.
Yeah, which I guess we shouldn't have. We all
No.
watched the Shanghai version of it and knew
Right.
exactly what it was, but still, it is what it is. So that's
It's
all
still
they've
a really
had.
cool ride, and if you are going, you definitely need to get a virtual queue for it because why would you not?
Mhm.
So don't skip it listening to us, but we just wish it was just a little bit more.
You don't think that we're putting this at the bottom of the list of
It's
Magic
definitely
Kingdom
not.
because there are other rides at Magic Kingdom that are far, far worse than Tron.
Yes.
Like anything. It's the best ride at Magic Kingdom. It just
Yes, absolutely.
So they got one big thing currently going on at Magic Kingdom, and that's, would you call it a new ride?
Yes, new concept. I don't know. New
It's
new theme.
it's going
I
to be
guess. Newly
it's got a
themed.
new name, so I guess technically it'd be a new ride,
Mhm.
but it's Splash Mountain is going away, and is not replaced with another mountain. No mountain. So does that mean we've lost a mountain?
We
Because I
have
think they're
lost a
just calling it
mountain.
like a salt mine is what you go through now.
Yeah, we've lost a mountain.
So it's being rethemed to Tiana's, which I wish I would have thought about it ahead of time to put some pictures in here for the show. But have you seen the animatronics for
Yes,
this?
they look incredible.
Oh, wow. Especially the Mama Odie
Yes.
animatronic. I mean, it is for all the stuff that you've seen on animatronics before. This is the closest to if they just pulled the character straight from the screen.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I mean, that is exactly it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard, I think Braden over at Mickey Views say the reason these look so good is because Bob Iger's back and Chapek took away a bunch of money from the Imagineers. And so this is what you finally have when the Imagineers have a budget again.
Nice.
So that's what I've heard him say before. And it makes sense. It's better than the projected faces they have on over at Frozen
Yes,
Ever
at
After,
Frozen.
where you get like a really weird tan line right around there.
Right. But it opens this summer. And if you're a Princess and the Frog fan, I am. That's one of my very favorite movies. She's one of my favorite princesses. Then you're going to love it. You're going to be so excited to be able to get on.
The animatronics alone look great. It's the exact same layout
Mm-hmm.
as Splash Mountain, so you still get all the drops, the big drop at the end, and at Magic Kingdom, a great view of Cinderella's castle.
Right.
My mind's elsewhere,
Are
sorry.
you in Disneyland right now?
Ah, not yet. But you still get that great view of it. It's just going to be different music, which, yes, Zippity Doo Dah was a classic.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. It's moved on. They're on this one now, and it's got jazz, which is I love. So I think it'll be great. But beyond that, where so many people have been reporting that there is a project codename basically Beyond Big Thunder Mountain, and this is where I think especially you would get interested, because the biggest rumors that were broke, making sure I give credit here,
Yes.
yeah, for our user base of 5 people. Over at Mickey Views, Braden, I guess he calls himself Sir Braden sometimes. Anyways, he broke the rumors that his sources have said that they are going to, in order to keep a desert theme with Thunder Mountain, potentially clone Radiator Springs racers
That
in
would
the
be very
Magic
cool.
Kingdom, which that's the most popular ride over in California
Yes.
by a long shot.
Hmm.
And so having that in the Magic Kingdom would be great. But even past that, at D23 2022, I know there's a lot of
With a lot
numbers,
of numbers,
all
yes.
with a lot of 20s in there. At that D23, they teased some concept art where you could see villains in the background. Specifically, they had the Chernabog, right?
Yes.
Which is uh,
He's the master of evil from Fantasia. If
Yeah,
you don't know, he's a very obscure character.
Bald Mountain, right?
Yes.
Where it is, that's it. Other than a few like Disney Mickey animated short stuff.
Yes.
But
Yeah, he's at the very end of the movie. That's it.
supposedly an entire villain's land with multiple rides, including at least one e-ticket, which is going to help Magic Kingdom, because how would you describe Magic Kingdom whenever you go there?
Definitely geared towards littles.
Mm-hmm.
I love it because it's such a nostalgic type park. It's got every well-known character and movie that you've seen. You will recognize almost every kind of ride, just how it's themed. But it is very much, if you're going as adults, you may want to skip Magic Kingdom just because it's going to feel for a younger group.
And that's even with stuff like Space Mountain, Big Thunder Mountain,
And Tron.
and Tron, and none of those have large drops, so you'd be hard pressed to find anyone calling those thrill rides.
Oh, yeah,
they're
absolutely.
enjoyable, and Tron is fast. Nothing
Yes.
else is.
Right.
But beyond that, you have a extreme issue of crowds. Now, you guys normally go whenever there's a hurricane threat, including you basically convoyed down with like workers on their way to prepare for the hurricane one year, right?
Yes, we did.
So you don't necessarily know this, but Disney World's Magic Kingdom is so crowded. And it was, when we were there last year, it was made very apparent whenever you had Splash Mountain shut down. Because if you're looking at it over on the right side of the park, you have Tomorrowland, which has Tron, Space Mountain, Seven Dwarfs. On the opposite side, you had Big Thunder Mountain and Splash Mountain. And that kind of helped spread the crowds apart. But with Splash Mountain down,
Yes.
and for a brief time Splash Mountain was down and Tron wasn't even open,
Right.
there was no reason to go over to that side of the park.
Yeah.
And so having something past Thunder Mountain is going to help with the capacity problems big
I
time.
agree. Yep.
Even though it's nowhere near as bad as Universal as far as how claustrophobic you can feel at times. So that's the one I'm really looking forward to. Now, do you have tickets to D23?
I do not.
Yeah, I don't either. We didn't get invited. Apparently, you need more than 5 people watching to get a press invite. Hint, hint. Anyways,
Speaking
There's
of
a hint
Universal,
at
though, they're
Disney.
also getting a giant additional 5 more parks, which is pretty cool. The How to Train Your Dragon is very exciting to me.
yeah, Epic Universe,
Yes.
which we're primarily a Disney show, but
Right.
for reasons you'll learn, we take a very vested interest. Gunnar really wants to go to Epic Universe next year.
I think it'd be awesome.
They have a racing roller coaster that looks like I would say I was going to ride and then chicken out at the last minute.
No, you would do it.
There's so much stuff. It's Super Nintendo World, which just seems like it's aimed at people my age. Like, I don't know if you're quite old
Yep,
enough to
yep,
remember
yep.
Super Nintendo,
Oh, yeah.
but everything about that one looks great. So I've got to go back at some point, maybe after crowds will never die down, so I may as well just go as soon as I can. But yeah, all this stuff going on at D23, I think the Magic Kingdom stuff I'm most looking forward to.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because everything else is,
I'm trying to not
who
get
cares?
my hopes up in case there's not a Villain's Land, but inside I'm screaming because that you couldn't possibly sell me anymore, and then you put a Villain's Land.
Hmm.
I'm done. I'm done.
And I think Studios is pretty well done for a while.
Yeah, and right now, if you ask me, that's my favorite park. It's just got so much.
It's probably my favorite park,
Mm-hmm.
yet neither of my two favorite rides are in that park. So that just shows you how it's
You've got to do it
well
all.
round it's well rounded.
Yes.
It's and I mean, but in the last several years, both Toy Story and Star Wars Galaxy's Edge
Yeah.
going in, they have added in, 4 brand new rides.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to fault them, for taking a little step back now when you have another park that literally has 4 rides.
Right.
So, but there is something I'm pretty excited about. Just want to make sure, did we cover all the news first? Because I think that's about it on the news.
Yes, I want to say.
All right. So one thing that I've been pretty excited about is, well, I'm going to Disneyland. And okay, so apparently I need to widen out the shot here for.
Because I'm a little jealous. Not nothing
There,
huge.
there we go. Oh, look, we have a green screen again. There we go. All right. So now we're back on here. I, about a year ago, started the process of being a travel agent. And as part of that, they have what they call a FAM trip.
Right.
And I think it stands for familiarization.
And
So it gives certain people, certain travel agents, the option to travel to either of the parks to get familiar with it. And I'd never been to Disneyland before, ever. So whenever people would ask me, hey, what can you tell me? I'm like, hey, do Disney World, because I don't know anything about land. And so this is an opportunity for me to be able to go. And so I'm pretty excited about being able to go to Disneyland, even though that castle looks tiny. It is the smallest castle of every Disney park. But my kids have been there.
Oh,
And you ask yourself the question, how in the world did your kids go without you? They bought their own tickets. They snuck off? No. They went with my parents, who were right there.
oh, nice.
Everyone in that photo looks like they're enjoying themselves, except for really Gunner, almost. Gunner's like, I'm going to lose my Wally hat. I don't like this.
Yes.
Well, this was 6 years ago. He was in 2nd grade.
Oh,
Or in between 2nd and 3rd, somewhere around there. And this is one of the rides. Radiator Springs Racers is where you get to ride in the cars from Cars Land. And it's kind of like Test Track, just I don't think as fast. And this is the Tower of Terror re-theme that they did to Guardians of the Galaxy. And so I like how this person over here at the bottom left is making a peace sign and covering up her own face. Like, you don't deal with that enough in the parks. But Gunnar rode this one before he ever rode Tower of Terror.
well, then he was
And he didn't want to ride Tower of Terror
really.
because he was scared of it because of the drops. Or not with the drops. Obviously, this one has it too. Because of the ghosts.
Oh.
So, and then
The
I'm going to
mountain.
finally cross this mountain off of my list.
Yay.
And then Disneyland does have some rides that are different. It's a Small World, and that's the outside kind of opening to It's a Small World there at Disneyland. And you have the other park, California Adventures, and
This is Pixar Pier that we're looking at here.
and this is probably the 2 scariest rides they have at the park.
You better ride them both.
I'm definitely riding Incredicoaster.
You are riding that.
And I'm going to ride the
Yes.
swinging side of the Ferris wheel.
Yes, you are.
If you can kind of see, there's like some oval shapes around it. That's because some of these gondolas are on a track that as they go around, it'll slide down and swing. And from what I've heard, it is like the scariest
I feel like that's a
ride.
nightmare. I'm so scared of Ferris wheels. That's a nightmare to me. But you
Yeah.
bet I'm gonna get on it.
I'll be on it. See, my mom is also a travel agent,
Uh-huh.
and she's going on this trip. And I had to basically beg her to get on Incredicoaster.
Mm.
And so she was like, okay, then you have to get on the Ferris wheel.
Oh, good deal.
Like, okay, well, that's fair. So,
That's a good bargain.
but what I wanted to do is while we're talking about this, I think we're going to plan when I get back here in just a couple of weeks of being able to have like a summary, tell you about, because you've also never been to land.
Not as an adult. I have as a kid.
When did you go?
When?
Yeah.
I have no.
Like, I mean, how
idea.
old were you?
Oh, probably 10 to 12ish, maybe.
So do you remember much?
I remember Toontown.
And that's completely different now.
Yes, I remember Toontown, and I was just thinking of this yesterday, and I remembered something else, but I can't. It was something not very huge, but I can't remember what it was.
So we can talk about this whenever I get back. And I thought it'd be neat. Do y'all have any questions you want to know about Disneyland? Because neither of us can answer them right now, but in a couple weeks, I might be able to find out.
Yep.
We're going to get there a little bit early, and we're going to go around the resorts and take pictures of the resorts because we don't have enough money to stay at one of the resorts.
Oh, gosh.
Just-
Disneyland Hotel is a dream, though.
Yeah. The one thing I know is basically, at Disney World, you got the value resorts,
Mm-hmm.
which are still overpriced on some of them, but it works from that to moderate to deluxe.
Right.
Disneyland has 3 hotels
One
that
of
are
each.
officially, and they're all deluxe.
Mm.
There's nothing cheap at Disneyland.
Mm-mm.
What they get away with are the value resorts are the good neighbor hotels.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't get the perks of early entry with that. Grand Californian has its own entry straight into the park at California Adventures. But if you're wanting to ever do those, it can get up to $650 plus per night.
Yep.
So that is, be prepared for that.
Right.
But if you have any questions, send them in, comment, see me around town, ask me, and I will do my best to answer them when we get back. And so now my kids aren't going.
Oh, yeah.
And so like, I'm smiling right now, but I really do feel bad. I promise you, I feel bad for and we tried to work it out to where
Yes.
even like maybe Brooklyn could go.
Mm-hmm.
Because here's the problem. One of the days we're at the park, Gunner's got a star test. The day we leave, Gunner has another star test. And then he has another star test after we get back. So there's no way for him.
Mm-mm.
Candace is teaching. That's a lot of days she would have to take off. But Brooklyn was in between star tests for the week. And so I've toyed around with it a little bit. Maybe it could be like Brooklyn going with us. But softball season has started up, and
Yeah.
she would be missing tournament, game, practices. So it didn't work out. So this will be a different kind of trip for me, which is I've gone one time without kids, and that was on an anniversary trip. And now I'm going with my mom, and she's watching. So, it's going to be different, but it's still going to be good. It's going to be fun. She is more like Gunner, and just wanting to basically go,
Right.
and knows the ins and the outs.
Good.
So,
Well, good. You'll be in good company then.
but one of the other things that we have going on is about a year ago, I started doing travel agent stuff. So I've planned a couple of trips. One of them has already gone on the trip. One is coming up later this year for being able to go. And so if you're interested in anything, you can get in touch with me and ask any questions at all, and I can book your trip. I know all about the promotions. Usually we find out about it before
Mm-hmm.
they even drop. Or if you think, oh my goodness, this guy doesn't ever shut up. Doesn't Chelsea ever get a chance to talk?
Oh, whatever.
Maybe you just feel like, oh, I'm going on a girls' trip. I want to get a girl's point of view. Well, Chelsea's now doing travel agents as well. Welcome, fellow agent.
Thank you. And we're on the same team.
And you
Same
passed,
company.
right?
I did pass.
And she only had to take the test 20 times.
Listen, it was hard.
There were computer glitches at stake there. So if you look here, this is both on our Facebooks.
Uh-huh.
I think mine's set up as a page, yours is set up as a group. So
Right.
have someone invite. Um, I would ask a favor for both of us. Send out an invite to everybody that you're friends with for both pages. Because, like I said, there's going to be some times where I might be the better choice. There's going to be some times
Right.
where Chelsea's going to definitely be the better
If
choice.
you are a Star Wars fan, here's your guy. I am not a Star Wars fan, like at all. So if you are going to specifically check out Star Wars and all of that glory, please talk to him. Yes, absolutely.
And if you ever want to know about what your better food options would be, because I'm going to tell you, get the chicken nuggies or the hamburger and go to the next ride. It's not about the
Yes.
food, people. It's
We're
about
a
everything
family
else.
of foodies for sure. But either way, our services are always free to you. And honestly, we only do this simply because we like to yap about all things Disney, and we want to share that joy, and we want to create that for you and your family. So really, just talk to us, and we're more than ecstatic to even just get a question on, hey, how can I go to Disney?
And I think now, I saw you post this the other day whenever you signed up and everything. What is the reason someone should use a travel agent versus just doing it themselves?
There's a lot of perks to using a travel agent, like you mentioned. We can get promotions added to your package. We know the resorts. We can pick out a resort that we think might work for your family and in your budget, what your interests are, because the resorts are so different as far as themes, budgets, what you can get with your themes. Um, what else? We can do the hard things. We can book your dining. We can wake up at 6 a.m. and book your dining so you don't miss out on anything that you want to eat as far as characters or any other kind of food. We can book your virtual queues, which is always kind of something that's confusing to a new Disney goer
Or veteran?
or veteran. Yes, really, absolutely. What else do we do?
See, dining reservations, giving it, we can even, as long as we're logged into their account,
Mhm.
even get their lightning lanes while they're going through
Yes.
the day. If you don't want to mess with getting your phones out all the time and booking, we're able to log in, get you those lightning lanes, and just send you a text and say, hey, somewhere between 6 and 7, go ride Space Mountain. And then you write back, I said I'm scared of Space Mountain. And then we say, quit being a wuss and just, no, wait.
Yeah.
That would be if it's my family. But no, we can do those things like that. And
Yes.
one thing, whenever I signed up, I've got a friend he preaches up at Perryton, and he does this too. And I just said, how does this work? Because no one ever charges. You don't charge anyone. I don't charge anyone. So how
That's
is
the
this
catch.
worth it? And found out, regardless of how you go to Disney World, you are paying commission. Even if you book it yourself, that
Through
price
Disney. Mhm.
is just 10% of that stays with Disney.
Right.
If you book through a travel agency, then that 10% goes to the travel agency instead of Disney, but the price stays the same.
Mhm.
So,
You pay for an agent either way. Even if you do it yourself, you're paying for a travel agent. You're just not benefiting from the perks of the agent.
mhm. And so with that in mind, why not have someone else who will do it for you?
And that loves to do it for you.
Hmm.
We want to live vicariously.
Yes. For real, like
Yes.
she's joking, but
We
for
really
real,
want
like
to. Yes.
it's an addiction. Like I just want to book a trip to Disney just to do it.
Yes. Yes. That's what.
So I'm like, yes. I'm
Me
like, let me
too.
help you order your magic bands. We're not
Yes,
going for
me
9
too.
months.
Me too. That's so funny. I don't even care if I get paid or not. Like I want to do. Actually, I have done that. I've done it for a few of my friends, which they were like, "Why don't you do this?" I don't know. So
And so, and with that comes the tip of the day for that. If you're even a remote possibility you're going to go to Disney, any park, book now. Don't wait until there's a deal because prices can go up at any point.
yes.
If you have a reservation, your price is locked in. It will not increase. However, if a promotion comes up later, we can call Disney, and as long as there's availability, we're able to get you that promotion.
Hmm.
So book now. It is $200 to book. and it is fully refundable as long as you are further than 30 days out.
Mm-hmm.
Within 30 days, whatever you've paid would be refunded except for the $200 deposit. So even if you're not thinking of going until next July because you just heard that your favorite ride Test Track was going to be shut down for a year, you can still book right now and lock those prices in and then just pay however you want on the way. So, and it gives us something to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the real reason.
Yes.
We're bored, we need.
Absolutely.
So that is the show for today. We'll be back sometime in a couple of weeks or so. We'll talk about Disneyland, and hopefully we get some questions from some people about what they really want to know about Disneyland, and hopefully I can actually answer them when we get back.
Yep.
And if not, then tune in to watch a bunch of pictures of me at Disneyland, because that's all it will be if there's no
Yes.
questions that come in, which I'm fine with.
Yep. All
Like,
the pictures.
Here's me having fun. Here's a picture of my kid in the middle of the star test. Who's having more fun?
Don't do that, Tyler.
I know. All right. Well, do you have anything else?
I do not. Mm-mm. Just go follow our pages, please.
Lots of invites.
Yes.
And until the next time, have a great day filled with magic.
Bye.